Have you ever experienced a challenge or difficulty in your life? A circumstance so bad you didn't know how you were going to make it through? In my work with professional college and high school athletes on their mindset and mental game, I see this a lot. Anytime you try to accomplish a big goal or win a tournament or a championship, you will experience challenges. They don't just hand trophies out. You have to put in the work to earn it. And sometimes those circumstances can cause us to feel like quitting. The fear of the moment causes us to give in to the negative force pushing against us and forsake the very reason that we pursued this dream in the first place. Challenging circumstances can also cause us to stall out. We quit moving forward because we don't know how to process our feelings and respond in the right manner. At the first sign of trouble, we stop, killing any momentum that we had in achieving our goal. Challenging circumstances can also cause us to become frustrated and spiral downwards in future moments. In sports, I see this a lot with the golfers that I work with. They astonishingly expected every moment and every shot to be perfect when they go out in a round. And when they hit a bad shot, they become frustrated and fixated on that moment, causing them not to be present in both the current and future moments. This causes more bad shots and what we call an overall spiraling downwards in performance. When we react emotionally to a valley moment in our lives, we hinder our ability to process the moment and move through it with the right response. While there are many sports psychology principles and techniques that I teach and work with my athletes on to combat and conquer the fear that we face in the midst of a challenging circumstance, one of the key success factors includes having the proper perspective. This brings us to a huge truth that Jesus shared with his disciples in advance of his miraculous work on the cross and his departure from the world that we live in to go back to heaven. In chapter 16 of the Gospel of John in the Bible, Jesus communicates a bunch of things to his disciples, mainly that he will be leaving them and why this is a good thing. They are confused about this and wonder, how could this ever be a good thing? They also don't understand how the, quote, helper that Jesus promises could ever be better than having Jesus in the flesh with them. At the end of chapter 16, Jesus says these words, "I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world." If you stop at just the first sentence of this verse, you can understand what the disciples might have been feeling and also be confused with them too. How could telling us that you're leaving be a good thing? And how could that provide us peace? It's because it's easy to skip over two words in the middle of that sentence and just read the verse this way: "I have told you these things so that you may have peace." Yet Jesus did not want them or us to miss the connecting part of the truth he was communicating. The two words "in me" are essential to the truth and power of this verse in our life and on that path to peace. He goes on to say in the second sentence that in this world we will have trouble. The word for trouble in this verse is not just a speed bump along the way like the barista messing up our coffee order. This word trouble means major league trials and tribulations in our life. He was wanting them to know that we live in an imperfect and broken world and that we will experience challenges and valley moments in our lives, sometimes because of our choices, sometimes because of the choices of others, and sometimes because the world is imperfect. Jesus was giving them a proper perspective in the first half of this verse. But then in the finale of this verse, Jesus commands them to have this response. He says, "But take heart, I've overcome the world." And this is a very strong command. At first glance, you might think the phrase "take heart" sounds weak, like just take heart. Yet the word heart is powerful and strong. It means courage. So to take heart literally means to take up courage and strength in our lives in this moment. And he gives us the reason why we should be encouraged when he says, "I have overcome the world." Now, at this point in time, Jesus had not conquered the cross, but he knew what was going to happen in the future, and they had already seen the life-changing miracles that he had done and was performing in the current moment. I love this verse. A proper perspective about a situation and the right response can help us move through challenging moments, discover the path to peace, and realize growth in the process and successful and impactful outcomes. The path to peace will be filled with trouble, Yet we can experience peace in the process because of what Jesus did on the cross and what he offers us in any moment. It's helpful to know that there will be challenges, so we're not caught off guard at any moment. That gives us perspective. And it's even better to know that we have someone who can help us conquer any fear along the way. That's a powerful response, and that helps us make the most of the moments in our life.